everybody wants to retire happy. At least that's what they have in mind, right? So here are the questions. What will my income be when I go to retire? How much will I get from Social Security? When can I retire? How long will my money last? And is there more that I should be doing? And the answer to that question is almost always yes. All right. So stay tuned because I'm going to share with you more detail on these top 5 questions that will put you more in control of your retirement so you can retire happy. So here we go. Number 1, what will my income be when I retire? That's one of the first questions that people ask that we're working with when helping them plan for their retirement. They want to know. They want some kind of a forecast, right? Or what I call a retirement snapshot. You know, you may have a 401k, you may have a pension, a Roth IRA, or traditional IRA. It doesn't matter. What does all that look like when it's pulled together, and how much will my income be? Well, it's based on a few things. One, how much have you saved during your working years for retirement? Obviously, the more you save, and if you've diversified correctly, hopefully you're going to have, a pretty good retirement, right? You're going to be able to pull from multiple retirement accounts to replace the income. Because when you go to retire, obviously your employer income, that's going to come to a stop, right? So you need to replace that. The other to consider is your living expenses. Do you plan to maintain the current lifestyle, and will your expenses be the same, or will your house be paid off and you can live less, right? That's a big question. The other question that you need to be asking yourself is your life expectancy. How long are people in your family living to? What is your life expectancy? Are you healthy? Do you plan to live longer or hope to live longer, right? You have to take that into consideration because a lot of folks are concerned about running out of money when it comes to retirement. The other question to consider when how much money you'll have in retirement is what activities and where will you live in retirement? That's something to take into consideration. I mean, think about it. When you go to retire, living expenses in different cities and different states, I mean, it's across the board. Some states higher taxes. Like I happen to be here in Southern California in the Orange County area. Well, I can tell you, taxes, fuel, all these things, and rent and housing is much higher than other states and other cities, right? And so there's going to be more on that. Keep an eye on our videos here and subscribe to our channel because we're doing a comparison of different places to live, and not just for activity and lifestyle, but we're going to be breaking down the taxes, electric rates. I'll tell you, if you haven't looked at the electric rates in certain cities, like here in Southern California, it's off the charts compared to like a Tennessee or some of the other states. But those are some of the things to consider. The other question that we always get, number 2, is how much will I get from Social Security? Well, here's what I recommend first. Download your Social Security report. Some of you may have it mailed to you. You get it in the mail for the Social Security Administration. But you know what? You don't have to wait for that, or if you've never received it or you lost it, whatever it may be, don't worry about it. Just go online to ssa.gov, and there's a link right here in the description to ssa.gov. Create a free account. Take you about 5 minutes to get through all the verification stuff, and you can download the Social Security report. So if you're a public employee with a pension, you may not get Social Security. It depends on if you've contributed, but it mostly depends on the state that you're in and your employer as well, right? There are also other provisions in there, the windfall elimination provision and the government pension offset, which affect how your Social Security is calculated, which means you may not get Social Security, or your benefit may be a lot less than what you're thinking. That can certainly make a difference when you go to retire. So this is why some of these questions come up for people, is they really want to know, hey, what does that look like? And Social Security for some can be a challenge to calculate, right? And we'll share some tools with you as well. But again, make sure you to subscribe to our channel so you have access to all the links and all the tools and new videos as they come out about these details that can help you calculate your Social Security. Third question that we always get, when can I retire? Now we're starting to see a trend where people want to retire early. I think people are at the mindset that, you know what, hey, you only live once, right? I want to enjoy life, so I want to think about retiring earlier. So one of the things you need to know is, one, obviously it's going to be based on how much you have saved during your working years, right? Because you need to replace that income. But also, similar to Question number one is based on what activities and where you plan to live as well. Now, one of the things to take into consideration is that if you have the traditional retirement accounts, a 401k, a pension, or an IRA, that type of a traditional retirement account, you can't touch that money prior to age 59 and a half. Otherwise, you're going to get slapped with a penalty by the IRS, all right? So there are other retirement options and vehicles that will allow you to take that money earlier without a penalty. So if you're thinking that you want to retire earlier and not have penalties and have more flexibility with your funds or with your retirement savings, you may want to take a look at that. Again, subscribe to our channel where we're going to share all those details with you. So next question that we always get, how long will my money last? I mean, that's a great question, right? Well, as you can see, they're starting to become a common theme. It always depends on how much have you saved during your working years, right? But part of the reason that we get this question, how long will my money last and will I outlive my money, is expenses are going through the roof. People are starting to live a little longer as well, given the advancements in medical technology, right? And it's a valid concern, for many people. So with that being said, you need to be thinking about a couple things. To have more money and to live comfortably and to make sure that you don't outlive your money, you need to be diversified correctly. There are other options that will allow you to create a lifetime income similar to a pension or your Social Security. So you need to explore those and educate yourself on that. But also depends on how much you've saved, your living expenses. One of the things when you're trying to create more of a retirement is take a look at your expenses. Are there some things that you can cut out of your budget that will allow you or allow your money to go a little further, right? And again, life expectancy. I know a lot of folks don't like to be thinking about life expectancy because we don't want to put a target date of when we're going to pass. But you know what? It's something you definitely need to take into consideration because planning for retirement is really a realistic exercise. It's important that you're realistic in your expectations and you take into consideration these other things that I mentioned. How much can you save now, right? You may want to save more, but based on how much you actually make and your expenses, it may not allow you to save what you need to save. So you need to be taking a look at things right now. What can I do now to save as much as I possibly can to meet my retirement goals? What does that look like? And one of the things that I always share with people is you need to really begin with the end in mind, right? What does that look like? What do you want for your retirement? Where do you plan to live? What activities do you plan to engage in? Do you want to travel? I mean, there's a lot to consider. But unfortunately, many people don't start planning early enough, or they're not realistic in their expectations, or they accept just the default of what they hear on the internet or from a financial professional that these are the averages. Well, guess what? Those might not be in alignment with your goals. You need to be 100% in control of your retirement, all right? There are many other solutions out there that will put you in greater control that is not controlled by your employer or by the IRS, all right? But anyways, getting back to how long will my money last? Well, you know what? That's why you need to put this plan together and you need to have a retirement snapshot. Now, number 5 question. Is there more that I should be doing? The answer is almost always yes to that. There are many things that you should be doing that you're most likely, if you're like many of our other clients, that you're not doing. And part of it is, one, you might not know that there are certain things you need to do, or you might not have the time. We're human beings. We get caught up in our day-to-day activities, right? Especially if you're raising a family and you're working a full-time job. You have very busy schedules. This is something here that you should make a top priority. Put at the top of your list to really think about it either for yourself or with your spouse, whatever it may be. But here's the first thing. Take control of your retirement and create what I call a retirement snapshot. So a retirement snapshot, what are you doing? You're basically estimating and forecasting what your retirement will look like in retirement, and you're going to identify any shortfalls or gaps. Take all your retirement accounts. If you have a 401k, you have a pension, you have any type of an IRA account or an annuity, any life insurance like a whole life or an IUL, anything out there, take all that into consideration and just plot that out into a spreadsheet and forecast what is that going to look like. Once you have a snapshot, you'll have a better idea of what your retirement will look like and what steps you need to take right now so that you can move closer towards your retirement goals. All right. So here's a few steps in creating your retirement snapshot. First, start by calculating your 401k, your IRA, your pension, right? There's plenty of tools on there, and if you log into whoever is the provider for your 401k or administrator, and you can download the reports, I'm sure they're going to have some tools for you as well to help you calculate it, right? Next, get a copy of your Social Security report. Even if you're young and you have not met all the criteria, it's good to know, it's a good exercise to go through so that you know how to access your Social Security report at any point in time. But if you've been working, if you're in your 40s or 50s, definitely download a report because most likely you're going to have met the eligible criteria, and it will have some type of an estimate for you so you can plug that in. And it will indicate between ages 62 and 67 of what your retirement income will be. So you can have that. Next step is that as you're putting this together, this will take some time. It's going to take a little bit of research, so be patient, all right? Or if you prefer, we can assist you with it. We'll provide you with a complimentary 15-page retirement snapshot. Now, in the snapshot, we'll take all that information, we'll plug it into our software program that will calculate what your retirement will look like based on the information you provide. It will identify any gaps in retirement as well. It's an awesome 15-page report, has all the charts, and now you have a tool that will allow you to make informed and intelligent decisions. You can do it on your own, or if you want to engage our services, again, it's completely free, complimentary to you. Go ahead and click that link to schedule time with us, and we'll complete that, for you. So anyways, that's it for today. If you have any questions, please go ahead and drop them in the comment section below. We do review and read all the comments, so we will respond to you. So please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe so you're notified when we come out with a new video that will position you to be 100% in control of your retirement so you can retire happy. Have an awesome day.